Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How you doing? Welcome to our FinTips series where we teach you a little something new, kind of a simple topic today, but I'd like to do it by painting you a picture if you don't mind. A client calls the other day and says, Dustin, I'm thinking about refinancing my house. Would you mind if we spent some time going over some numbers, running some different situations? And I said, wait, yeah, can I call you now? You said it was an email. I said, can I call you now? It sends back, well, I'm working now. I have a job. Can we do it another time? And I said, sure, for something like that. We're talking numbers. I'll call you on the weekend. Does the weekend work for you? He says, yes, that works. So I got all excited. I got here early. I got 2 pens just in case one of them broke. I got my binder that I always carry around for notes. Got a little bourbon in case things got a little rough. And of course, candy. And I was ready to go. So I call the customer. The customer says, okay, here's the deal. I would like to refinance my house. I said, well, there's going to be a cost involved. You got to pay something. And we settled on a cost of around $5,000. Not that he was paying me, but that this for closing costs and refi costs. It was going to cost him about $5,000, what we came up with. And he said, okay, cool. How much are you going to save? Have you seen an estimate of your new payment? And do you plan on rolling in the $5,000 into your mortgage? And he says, well, it's going to save me about $100 a month. It's not quite a 1% difference in rates there, so we're not off to a good start. And but it's going to save him about $100 a month. And I said, okay, cool. And before I could ask for more variables, he says, you know, the thing is, though, I've got family in Vegas and I've got family in North Carolina. At some point, we may move out there. We may want to go somewhere different. Taxes are killing me here, New York. And I just don't know. While he was talking, I pushed my binder away. I threw my pens down. I had 2 drinks of said bourbon. Didn't get a chance to get to the candy because I knew already it was probably not a good idea that he refinanced. How is that? How could we just determine that right away? Well, here's the thing. You have a break-even cost. And sometimes instead of running a bunch of geeky numbers, it's really easy to just make it super simple. And for him, this was a case of a super simple example. Let me explain. I'll do it by going over to the board. It's going to be a little bit crazy today, but here we go. So he was going to save $100 a month by refinancing. Now, it's $100 a month. That's nothing to sneeze at. I'm okay with that, right? But it was going to cost him $5,000 to do the refi. And in this case, I think he was just going to roll it into the new mortgage, and it still saved him $100 a month. But either way, that's a cost to you of $5,000. Well, he kept mentioning how he would want to move and go see family, and possibly this is happening in the next couple years. And so I said, well, it's not worth it then, because you're going to spend $5,000 to save $100. You've got 50 months that you have to commit to that house, assuming you cannot sell the house for $5,000 more than you thought you were going to be able to sell it for right now, right? So we're taking the risk that we can't sell it for $5,000 more, which means you got to stick around for 50 months. That's 4 years and 2 months. Are you okay with that? And he goes, oh. And right away, he knew when he wanted to move, right? So before, him and his wife were talking about it, and they're going, we may move, we may not. As soon as I put a date of a commitment in his head to say, it's 4 years and 2 months, you in? All of a sudden, he goes, oh, I don't know if we're going to stay that long, right? I said, well, you should talk to the wife about that. Let's go ahead and have that conversation, because if you're going to move within the next 4 years, it doesn't make any sense for you to refinance. 4 years, 48 months, 2 more is 50 months. That's your break even. That's just to call break even. Anything after that, then we can say, okay, it made sense for you to save and pay the $5,000. Now, could he shop around and get a lower, maybe a lower or no refi closing cost? Possibly, right? But that started a conversation. We started down a path that we eventually found out was not the path we needed to go down. We were really talking about how soon until he moves. But if you're thinking about refinancing your house, of course it has to make sense for you in terms of the break even, right? Just quickly, go, am I going to stay in this house for that long? Take however much it costs you, subtract that from your savings, your monthly rate overall, and then see how long it takes for you to break even. You at least want to have that conversation. And then if we want to get super geeky from there, we can, but that unfortunately was the starting point. So just a really simple explanation today to say, look, make it simple. You do have a break even. Whether he paid that out of pocket or not, it's still a cost to refinance. If there's no cost to refinance, truly no cost to refinance, and you are getting a better rate and lower monthly payment, okay, you might make an argument for that. We can go down a different path. But I just thought it was kind of funny. I was all excited to run some numbers, and here he came with this moving nonsense, and all of a sudden, my day was ruined. I didn't get to run any numbers. That's what I like to do. anyways, we'll be talking more numbers later today on the closing beat at 5 o'clock today. Every day at 5 o'clock on our YouTube channel. We do a live stock market update show, a little bit more advanced and detailed than what you might see on TV and elsewhere. I try to give you something new and some statistics and everything. I thank you for watching. If I helped you in some way, if you would hit the subscribe button or give me a thumbs up, let me know, did you ever do this calculation for your break even to refinance? How's it going out there for you? Enjoy.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.